Hello, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you
Falcon.
kindly. Happy podcast day, as
Happy podcast.
always.
Indeed, happy podcast
Yes.
day.
Globally celebrated day.
Stretching it.
I
I
mean,
mean,
a little bit, but
actually, we're interplanetarily celebrated, not just on Earth. Even the people on like the International Space Station probably celebrate today.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that? I don't feel like that's interplanetary, but it does
Well,
include space, so I'll take it.
well, I'm gonna assume they're gonna crash on the moon at some point. It'll be fine. I'll be
But
right
the moon's
eventually.
not a moon's not a planet.
It's a planetoid. It's fine.
I don't think it is. We're not gonna go there. Anywho, it is StarCraft 2 Christmas today.
I mean, I almost
It
feel like
is.
it's April Fools. It's been so long since we've had one of these. I'm not sure if they're joking or not.
I mean, it's fair.
They also didn't spell the name of the game right in the title.
I mean, look, the StarCraft 2 intern that is in charge of all things StarCraft, who did the balance patch all by themselves and had to write the patch notes all by themselves and do all the testing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just appreciative of all the work they do. I will not have you slander their name on this podcast.
Look, all I'm saying is I can't wait to play more Stark Taft 2.
They fixed it. It's fixed now. Leave them alone.
It's
It only
not
took
fixed
them
on
like
mine.
10 hours.
It's not fixed on mine. I haven't refreshed the page yet.
Yeah, look. It's also kind of adorable how they're like, Antaro Adun, we are releasing a balance patch. Everybody knows it's just the one person.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to make it sound like there's a whole team behind this. It's okay. We know, we understand.
We
I know
understand.
Hearthstone had a video where he's like, oh yeah, I was consulted on the balance patch, but he's just, he's just keeping,
Right. Well,
he's just trying to make it seem like Blizzard actually cares about StarCraft a little bit more than they do. So I appreciate that. Hearthstone.
when he says he was consulted on the balance patch, Bill Gates often asked him to proofread it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, just proofread this press announcement.
So it's
And
Hearthstone's fault it was misspelled.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh, that explains everything.
That explains everything. Yeah.
All right. So what was the date of the last balance patch?
October 2020.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, 18 months? 18 months.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. Shoot. So I mean, yeah, the Christmas comparison is pretty apt if Christmas was every 18 months, I suppose. Anyway, without further ado, I kind of want to get into it here because I do think these are good changes. All of them? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So number 1 here, shield battery. Starting energy reduced from 100 to 50 outside of the next field. Wait, what?
Field. The Nexus field.
Oh, see, that's a typo too.
What? Hold on. Is there a new typo?
Yeah.
Yeah, outside of the next field. They fixed that. Like they broke it, so they fixed.
They broke it while fixing the other. This is just. Dude. My theory that it's one person doing all of this is getting stronger and stronger. Nexus shield. So offensive shield batteries start with 50 energy instead of the full max 100, which I think is a solid move. I prefer it was 0.
I don't.
I still think offensive.
I think if you start at 0, you kill any sort of like cheese potential with it, right? Like, I don't see the point in utterly gutting the proxy, like void rays and shield battery stuff and tempests. Like, if they have no energy, that's usually when they die, right? I just don't see the point.
It generates. It
slowly
generates. Yeah.
Slowly.
Faster than like a Zerg building replenishes health, though. I mean, it's not the slowest thing in the game or anything.
No, but if I see that the shield batteries are all drained and like, or even on like quarter power, that's when you go in, right? Because they can't heal their units anymore.
Yeah, but if you have like 8 of them, then some of them have energy and some of them don't. It's how this works.
Yeah, but if you built them all at roughly the same time, and none of them had any energy to start with, as they attack and pull back to them, all 8 of them will continue to have no energy because what little it is that they're charging is being used constantly.
Yeah, I know, but nobody comes in and throws down 8 shield batteries at once. They make 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then they make a void ray, and then they make another one, and then maybe a cannon. They don't throw down all the shield batteries at the same time.
They usually make like 3 or 4 to begin with, and they get
Really?
yeah. We got
Hmm.
proxy void batteried in our team games, and they put down 3 like straight away
All
in that
right,
little
fine.
pocket.
3.
And then they didn't build anymore. Why? Because we drained them of all their power and cleaned it up.
Yeah. All right. How about 25?
No, 50 is fine.
Fine. 50 is fine.
Let-
Moving on. Number
let-
2.
Let's see if 50 is fine. Like, give the patch a couple times to play out, and then we can always change it later.
That's, I mean, in 18 months, yes, that
Yeah,
is
in
later.
18 months we can change it again.
Yeah.
Dark Templar now have a 0.75 second attack delay after blinking. Not sure why they're changing this.
Me neither. I've never heard anybody once complain about DT blink and the attack
Yeah,
timing. Like,
people get DT blink so rarely anyway.
I don't know. PVTs, man. Like, DTs blinking on top of a planetary and just going swipe, swipe, done is pretty good. And that might be what this is about.
I don't think
Like,
I've seen
maybe
anyone doing that.
You've never seen a DT blink on top of a PF and kill it?
I've seen
The
that
whole group?
happen. I've seen that happen, but it's not like
Yeah.
a regular occurrence, I feel. I don't think I saw
okay.
it once at Kato. Although there was only like 4 Protoss players and they all died pretty quick.
Right. That's the thing. It has to happen in kind of a macro PVT, which is pretty rare, honestly.
Right.
But like I just cast Trap versus Hero Marine with like a 17-minute game, and yeah, Trap totally had DTs running around. They were blinking onto production facilities. They were blinking into mineral lines. Like they were really important to him winning that game. DTs aren't just a meme unit, I don't think, but it's more especially in PvT than anything else. And just the sheer lack of macro PvTs just makes it, I'm sure, it's not as huge a thing for people who watch a lot of StarCraft, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho, I think that's what it is. I think it's just Terran fans being like, look, I'm tired of DTs blinking in, and I have no reaction time at all to do anything with my base, and it's dead, you know?
Do Stalkers, when they blink, have a delay before they can attack?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe that's next in 18 months.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What's next? Void
Number
Rays are getting
3. Yes. Finally, increase the build time from 37 to 43, and increase the mineral cost from 200 to 250. So it's not the biggest nerf of all time.
No, they'll still be incredibly effective.
Yes,
But
it's still very good, but just a little slower to get out and a little more expensive to mass produce.
Yeah, 6 seconds longer for each.
Right.
Well, 6 seconds minus whatever Chrono Boost does to them.
Yeah, I'm not doing that math.
No, no one is doing that math on stream.
No.
So, while I'm definitely looking forward to that in team games, they have not changed Phoenixes, so it's like, well, maybe people don't make Void Rays, maybe they just go back to Mass Phoenix, which is also fun. I'm still a fan of that in team games every time. So,
what do I hate more, Mass Void Rays or Mass Phoenix?
I hate Void Ray more. Phoenixes, if you just overcommit to spores, they can't actually kill you.
I guess.
Phoenixes don't shoot down.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
We'll never kill your hatchery.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. Next off, Queens can no longer transfuse off creep, which is interesting.
Yeah, so this is just Queen Walk German taxi nerf. I mean, removal, basically.
Right.
Yeah, because
I mean, it makes it a little harder because you can still do like a creep highway with overlords or something.
Yeah, but then your timing has to be post lair. I mean,
it's still theoretically doable. It's just much, much more unlikely.
Yeah, so basically they're saying, hey, Zerg, stop killing Protoss before they get up their Skytoss army.
Well,
and we're going to make Void Rays like more expensive. How's that for a trade?
Yeah.
All right.
On the other hand, they could now just build a Nidus Worm, because I'm going to skip a couple things real quick, because they go Zerg, Terran, Zerg, which is a great way to list out your changes, Blizzard. Thanks for that.
Hey, be
uh,
nice to intern Sam. Intern Sam is doing his best.
So increase starting creep by 1 unit in each direction around the Nidusworm. So if you just bring a Nidusworm along to anywhere, the queen that pops out will have a bit of creep to put down another tumor real fast.
Right.
Um,
Again, post lair tech.
again,
So the
yeah,
timings are a little later. Yeah.
a little later, but it's queens can still come along and do other stuff now, like Nidusworms. It's like it's not completely removing the queen's offensive abilities in some situations.
Correct. It's not.
Support
It's not.
abilities because transfuse heals doesn't do damage. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So
god,
that's
imagine that queens can only attack on creep.
right. I think that was a thing back in like the beta.
Yeah.
Like Wings of Liberty beta. I'm pretty sure they could only attack on creep.
That would be
And I
crazy.
think everybody was like, that's fine. They're butt slow anyway. Like, what are they going to do off creep? Little did we know.
Little did we know.
Yeah. When they're on, if they can be attacking an enemy base, speed doesn't matter as much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up. Wait, did we? Yeah. So Widowmine.
Widowmine? Yep.
Yep. Reduce the effectiveness of drilling claws from 0.71 seconds to 0.107 seconds. I don't know if the word effectiveness was the right vocabulary word for this sentence.
So drilling claws is the upgrade?
Yeah.
So the thing that makes it better no longer makes it as better, right? Like
right. So I think speed would be here.
Yeah. I mean, it technically works, but you need to know that drilling claws is an upgrade, which they should probably have capitalized because that would have made it helpful. Or listed the base speed of the burrow ability for the Widowmine, and then how much the upgrade changes it. Like
totally,
just more information.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Widowmines take a third of a second longer to burrow.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's tuned for the highest level of StarCraft. I don't think anybody at Diamond gives a crap.
No, I care. I care.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Somicron's out there. He's been wishing for this 0.3 seconds faster to deal with Widowmines before they burrow.
Yeah, there's plenty of times when I'm like trying to split my roaches or something, and I just can't do it fast enough. Third of a second will be enough. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. I definitely play at that level.
Uh-huh. So it's for you.
Yeah. This is that one's for me. Yeah. And the last change is the Lurker reduced the effectiveness of the adaptive talon from 0.71 to 1.07. So the same change.
Strange how it's exactly the same change.
Yeah.
And also the word effectiveness here. That's not the right word. Doesn't matter. We know what they mean. So yeah. So adaptive talon burrow time is not as good as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. So lurkers won't pop in and out instantly. Which is weird because I always felt like lurkers burrow faster than Widowmines when they have the adaptive talons upgrade.
It sure feels like it, huh?
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Well,
wait, unless it does it. Oh my gosh.
Does it change the unburrow time? Because maybe that's what I'm getting. That the Widowmines will take longer to unburrow once they're burrowed, but lurkers will just pop up, but they take the same time to go down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
No.
Heaven forbid Wikipedia lists the burrow times of lurkers.
No, you're not going to find that.
All right, cool. Here we go. Adaptive talons. It actually doesn't have it here in the upgrade section. Reduces the time lurkers take to burrow from 2 seconds to 0.7 seconds.
That's what it is now. That's the burrow time.
Yes. Yeah. So it goes from 2 to 0.7. So this is going from 2 to 1.07.
Yes. So it's
excellent.
Still half the time. So it's still twice as fast.
All right. I mean, we'll see how that does.
Yeah. I have no comment on that, really. Like, I can't form an opinion on it until I've seen it used.
Yeah. It almost feels like a ZVZ change.
You reckon?
Yeah. Like, maybe your ability to unburrow and reburrow quickly in a position to respond to an attack it's been reduced.
Mm-hmm.
right? So maybe it just changes the defensive capabilities of Lurker, Hydra, Viper just a little bit, right?
I mean,
Maybe
maybe.
it gives an attacking Zerg player a bit more of a window to get in somewhere before the Lurkers are burrowing in and defending it.
Sure, but if you're at the point where it's like Lurker Hydra Viper, you also have Lurker Hydra Viper. And so you're just going to be like abducting them, and your stuff's already going to be burrowed, and then these just don't have a chance to burrow once they're over or run away because they just die anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. We'll have to see. If it changes anything, I think it might be a ZVZ thing, but who knows?
Maybe. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, yeah, I'm willing to wait and find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nidus Worm. We already covered that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all interesting, more or less. Some of them unexpected, maybe, but excited to see how they work. They're on the PTR at the moment. Not on
Right.
the. They're not live on the like official version of the game. So I wonder how long it takes for them to get there and whether or not they'll change before they do.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see. That's nobody knows because Sam the intern is pretty busy these days.
Yeah. He's
It's,
pretty busy getting coffee for Bobby Kotick. Yeah.
right. Getting coffee like during his lunch hour. That's when he has to work on the balance patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a
How
rough life being the StarCraft 2 intern.
how long do you think he spent looking at the campaign screen to be like, what screenshot can I take to pair with this patch notes? Because there's like a console here, and it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's on Jimmy Rainbow's ship. Like it's one of the things in the background, and
It does look like Hyperion consoling.
yeah,
Got some toggle switches here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And the keypad on the right. Yeah. Two of them, actually. Two keypads.
2 keypads, fancy.
Seems unnecessary, but all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That probably took a week. Like this was probably ready to go, and like everything was written up. And he just like sat there and like played through the Legacy of the Void campaign and was like, all right.
He was
let's
like,
see.
"Oh, well, it's already Kato's on. I don't want to post it during Kato Pizza. That would, I mean, all the professionals gathered in one place to talk about StarCraft. I don't want to release the patch then. Heaven forbid they might talk about it.
Oh, that's so true.
I better go look for a JPEG to pair with this post.
There's only one Terran chain. Let's make a Terran-centric picture at the top of the thing. Genius.
Yeah, well, that's probably
this
why.
This is not open to comments. This is not. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I will take this every day and twice on Thursdays. So thank you, Sam, the StarCraft 2 intern. I hope you still continue to have your job and give us balance patches every 18 months.
Do you think they pay their interns?
No. Interns earn it for the experience. Don't you know how internships work?
Some places pay their interns.
No. They say they do, but then they don't actually pay you.
Okay. I mean, all right.
I mean, you're right, but come on. You think they're paying their interns at Activision Blizzard, the best company in the world?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna Google this. Does Blizzard pay their interns?
You just maybe look at job postings. Here, I'll do that.
Intern salaries, it says.
Okay. What's it say?
There are no salaries matching your search at this company.
What does that mean?
The Google result that led to it was like a careers finding website, like a job site aggregator, job post aggregator site.
Yeah,
they were like, they have no jobs. Like, you want to be an intern? Okay, their intern page does not load. Careers.blizzard
that's not a good sign.
Does not load.
Yeah.
They're clearly letting the interns hire other interns and run the website, so this is fine.
Totally fine.
These other interns are coming for our jobs. They'll accept even less money. They'll probably pay Blizzard to work here. Why will I get my experience then?
Ooh, good point. There are a ton of open positions listed on their website. Holy cow.
Yeah, well, everyone's leaving.
Yeah, good call. Okay. Business and gameplay insights internship.
Okay.
Here we go. Yada yada yada. Job description, quest objectives, level requirements. You guys are adorable. Nope. No posted salary range at all.
Okay. Blizzard software engineer intern.
Ooh, okay.
Monthly salary is benefits, housing, transport, and tags. I don't know what that means. Their summer 2021 working remote was 36 an hour, 10,000 living stipend, corporate housing, and round trips flights if in person. And
That's not a salary.
that's not it's not salary, but they're still paying 36 an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, plus. All right. I mean, that's
Plus
not bad.
living expenses and stuff. And they also have some stuff in Texas for 32 an hour, paying slightly less. But you also get
Well, I
company
think
housing.
30 comes out to like 65K. I
It's
think that's what the math is.
it lists the monthly here, which is 5,547 a month. So it's about 60,000 for 12
Okay,
months.
closer to 60. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they pay their interns. Excellent. Good job, Sam. Keep it going.
Glad you're getting money.
Keep up. Yeah, glad you're getting paid. Keep up the good work. I don't know if this Microsoft thing will change things, but we need someone with your experience to help make the transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a video about the downfall and death of Blizzard
Mm-hmm.
that posted a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
and I'd totally forgotten they in 2018. I want to say they had record profits.
Mm-hmm.
Like end of year, they announced record profits, and they immediately laid off like 300 people across the company, just
Yeah.
like taking an axe to all these jobs. And it's like, but you just, but the.
Well, that was to make it look like they had even more profits and look like, hey, if you buy us Microsoft, it'll be a great deal. Look how much money we're making. Because they didn't have a lot of stuff shipping at the time, or even now they still don't. They have like Diablo 4, maybe Overwatch 2, maybe, and that's about it. It's like, well, we're making all this money because we're not paying any salaries. Products are mostly done. There's 2 that aren't, but no one cares about Overwatch 2 really.
Mhm.
That's maybe not true. I just don't think the Overwatch people really care because they're like, well, we've still got Overwatch 1. I'm like, we're in no rush to leave it.
Right.
It's not a steaming pile of garbage like WoW or something. Um, I was watching Jesse Cox do reaction videos to like the final cinematic cutscenes for the new Shadowlands or the latest.
Oh, Reddit is ablaze about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and God, I hate the concept of the jailer. I've watched the cutscenes and I've watched several videos at this point. It's like, how did anyone think this was a compelling story idea? Like, and Jesse talks about how every time they have like a new expansion coming out, the big bad is always doing like the same thing. It's like, I'm doing evil shit, but it's only because something even worse is coming and I'm trying to save you from it.
Third time in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't get it anymore.
And Redditor's theory is that all the villains are talking about the other ones, but they just don't talk to each other. So they all see themselves as a big threat that's here to kill everyone. They're defending the world from each other, but they're all doing the same thing.
I would like that more if the most recent villain wasn't like, I am a master strategist placing pieces across the board for 10,000 millennia. He's like supposedly pulling the strings the entire time, setting up the other villains that we've already had. If it was just like, oh, I'm here to protect you from the other villains, but you're also the one like installing them, that doesn't make any sense.
No, none of it makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of not making any sense, Halo Infinite also put out like here's our we're working on new updates and stuff. It's March. The game came out in like November, and they're still talking about they're not going to have co-op campaign until like May.
Oh my gosh.
May.
They're not doing very well over there, are they?
No.
No.
Ugh.
Lame.
Lame. Very lame.
I'm sure the subreddits are mad about that too.
But you know what they do have more of? More cosmetics for you to buy in their store.
Of course they do.
They actually listed as here are our 3 priorities: addressing issues negatively impacting the player experience, completing season 2 and delivering it as promised, which is the cosmetics, and then continuing to work on campaign Forge in season 3. So season 2 is just like, here's more skins, buy another season pass. That's more important to them than having a core feature of what I consider to be for Halo, which is co-op campaign. Like
Agreed.
Every single game has launched with that before.
Yep.
They can't do it 6 months out of release.
Boo.
Yeah. Big old
boo on game developers. Boo.
Yeah.
Discord was down for like 90 minutes today.
I saw. I was trying to message you that the patch was out, and I'm like, I can't do anything. And so I messaged you on BattleNext. I saw you were playing Hearthstone.
Wait, you messaged me on BattleNet?
Yeah.
You didn't.
I did.
I didn't get any pings from you on the BattleNets.
I don't think you get any pings because you're set to busy permanently.
No, someone messaged me yesterday. Some rando. Where are you on this list?
Yeah,
I can search.
I'm not set to favorite. I'm not at the top. Set to favorite.
I have 0 people on my favorites list. I should probably get on that.
Yeah, you should probably add me to your favorites.
Oh, look at that. You did message me at 12:17 my time. Huh.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess that's weird. I swear somebody pinged me yesterday when I was on busy and it came through. Whatever. Maybe I'd fallen off somehow.
Maybe.
Here, look. Right click. Add to favorites. Ding. That'll make things a lot easier next time.
Ooh. I feel blessed.
Oh, yeah. All right, good.
Good.
Did you watch The Batman?
I did. I went and saw it yesterday at Gold Class.
Ooh, that sounds like a fancy place.
Gold Class was the only cinema that wasn't like 40 minutes drive away that wasn't showing it in audio description and subtitles.
Like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Subtitles? You speak English down there, right?
Right, but we have viewings for hearing impaired people.
So. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. They're not like it's
not in Spanish.
It's tough understanding that American accent, bloke. My accent is so bad for Australian. Maybe one day.
I wasn't sure if that was British or Australian.
That's the problem. It was intended to be Australian. Anyway, okay, so they're not like, or like, the Batman mumbles a lot in this film. We're gonna give you some subtitles.
Does he? I don't think he did. Like, I understood it pretty well.
Yeah, there are a couple lines that I think I missed because he does the like growly, mumbly voice like all the time.
He does it way less than like Christian Bale. You're like, where is she?
Right, but Christian Bale's loud.
Yeah,
like the RPAT version is pretty subdued a lot of the time. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into the Batman spoilers here now.
It's all Batman spoilers.
All the things. So go away if you don't want to hear those. Yeah. So what'd you think of the RPAT? What'd you think of Twilight Boy as the Batman?
So, okay, so I'm not a huge Batman fan. Like,
correct.
I don't particularly find many of the villains compelling. Also, I want to say I had either not watched any trailers for this or had forgotten that I had. And then as we get into the movie theater, they played like a selection of clips from DC comic films coming up being like, join us at DC. I swear we're making an attempt to like be like Marvel. We're going to have like 6 movies this year. It's going to be great. And they showed a clip of the Batman movie and totally spoiled that Catwoman was in it. Right?
Oh, that's terrible. This played before the film?
This played before the film, right? Like, we got there 10 minutes late because we were running a little late. But that's fine. Yeah. We missed basically previews. And then they were like, here's, DC's pitch for why you should watch our films. And I'm like, well, I don't care about Adam Black, and I don't think The Rock's a very good actor anyway. I don't like The Flash or Aquaman.
The
And
Morbius thing is just like edgelordy of
they
edgelordiness.
they didn't include that.
Oh, wow,
I
okay.
think Morbius might be Marvel.
Is it?
I think
Boy, it
so.
sure feels DC.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's Marvel. Morbius is Marvel.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, gross. All right, cool. Anyway, yeah, that would explain it. So you're like,
anyway.
Catwoman's in this. Blast.
Yeah. And so I had that a little bit spoiled for me, and I'm not a huge Batman fan. But what I will say is I want to watch this movie again because I think it might be my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Me too. I really loved that they're like, okay, so Batman is known as the world's greatest detective. There has been precious little detectiving going on in most of the Batman movies of the last 20 years.
Right.
So this one's going to be 90% detectiving, and then we will have some beat up scenes because you love those.
Mm-hmm,
but that's not the point of the movie. And
No.
I thought that was such a great decision. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it does. I think doing detective stuff is very tricky because there's a fine line between I'm a detective who's working stuff out and I'm Sherlock Holmes who just knows the answers to everything. And so the Riddler gives off like a lot of riddles at random points, not random, but at times throughout the movie. And Batman does kind of just know the answers to all of them. Like,
Yes.
there is no no point where other people are like, no, don't worry, Batman. I actually worked this one out and get to it before him.
Well, he never gives him a chance to. They like read the riddle out, and he's like, "Here's the answer." Like, oh, okay, geez, let us think about it for a minute, dude.
Yeah,
yeah. So that's true. I mean, there are a couple minutes, like when the one detective or the one cop puts it together that's a carpet scraper or lifter or something.
Tucker, yeah,
Tucker. That's what it's called.
I was a little annoyed at that scene where it's like Batman goes and visits the Riddler, finds out that there's maybe more, and he comes back to his apartment, which is like a crime scene, and all of the evidence that they just spent like cataloging and bagging up is just left there. It's like,
yeah,
well, we got the bad guy. You can leave the evidence here. It's fine. We'll leave one cop sticking around. Thank God he's the cop who knows what he's doing with this one specific piece of evidence.
and it's and it's one cop who's not even posted at the door. He's like hanging out in a bedroom or something.
Right. And the door is sealed shut as well. Like there's police tape over it or something, and Batman's gonna use his batarang to cut it.
It's not a batarang, it's just the bat symbol on his chest. I don't think he like ever throws it.
He doesn't, but I assume he could. Why not?
Yeah, he just never does in the film. That's all.
Yeah.
He never uses it as a batarang.
I would say if I was to make one little change, which I would have had him use that bat knife at least one time earlier, because you want the setup, the reminder, and the payoff. The opening the door should be the reminder, and the payoff should be him cutting the electrical wire and falling into the water.
Right.
But it just kind of is like, oh, I get, like, I'm 2.5 hours into this movie. I guess that's a knife and not just like an embossed symbol on his chest.
Yeah. We're never going to see it again. So enjoy.
Yeah.
File that away for the sequel, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed too that this is a young Batman who doesn't have the Bruce Wayne of it all figured out yet.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad he is he's not Bruce Wayne in the same way that Christian Bale is, or
Michael Keaton, or George Clooney, or Val Kilmer. Like all these Batmans were really, really good at being billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Which having them be like really good Bruce Wayne playboys made it feel more like the Batman was a hobby, like a rich boy's kind of I can do what I want hobby.
Yeah.
This does not feel that way because he doesn't feel like a playboy, because he's not. He's like a recluse through and through.
Oh, yeah.
And like everyone's like, oh my God, he came out for a funeral. Holy shit.
Yeah, Alfred's like, the accountants are coming for a meeting today, and Bruce is like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, you won't go meet with them. And it's like, oh, okay, you never leave the house. Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it totally breaks that down. And I love that Alfred has to be like, please, like, take a shower, dude. Which the implication is he wouldn't take a shower unless Alfred said something about it, right?
It's possible that the implication is he would have continued to just work until he passed out. Minor change is that Batman no longer lives in like the Wayne estate out in the country somewhere and has to take like a 4-hour Batmobile drive everywhere. Moving
Correct.
his like Batcave into the heart of Gotham, I think, is a solid choice.
Yes, agreed.
I really enjoy
that. Because he's there. He's among it. He's in Gotham all the time. There is no escape. He's there at night. He's there during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's living and breathing the city in a way that previous Batmans are not.
Yeah.
Although I will say the billionaire playboy aspect of it, I think for Bale especially, it was his mask. Right? He uses it in ways to throw people off suspecting that he might be Batman. Right? He's constantly
and
he's seen in public acting stupid with supermodels and doing dumb stuff.
He's buying restaurants because one of the models wants to take like a bath in their water feature or some shit, and he's like wrecking his Lamborghini and being like, "Oh, I just wanted to run the red, like I didn't want to have to stop or whatever," and like that's fine.
It is, but the point is that in our Pat's Gotham, somebody would put this together. Like, Batman is this brooding, staring, doesn't say anything, walks around slowly, and then Bruce Wayne is doing the same thing. He's plodding around, he's staring at people, he's looking all moody. Like, the way he moves as Bruce is the same way he moves as Batman.
I don't think so. I think it would be like, it's like, oh, the one time Bruce Wayne is seen outside of his house in who knows how many years, and people are gonna be like, I think that's the Batman. Like, I don't see that happening because Batman in this he's not. While he has all these like tech and gadgets and he's grappling hook and stuff, he's not ostentatiously wealthy. You know, like
correct.
George
Clooney drives
is
himself to the funeral.
Yeah.
Because it shows him like he's obviously in a car and he's going down the road, and I was like, wait, is he in the driver's seat of this car? Right. What is going on?
Well,
yeah, because like hardly any other time Bruce Wayne is out, he's driving his own car by himself somewhere.
Yeah, it's not even that Bruce Wayne is not ostentatiously wealthy. It's that Batman isn't, right? Like, you don't look at his get up and go, oh, well, that's you would need $1 bajillion to be driving that thing, right? Because it's obviously experimental.
Yeah, this version of Batman, right.
This version, like, I get that he's got a rocket on the end of his car, but he uses his motorbike for the most part. And it's like, most part, it's a normal motorbike. It's probably tricked out in some way, but it doesn't look like it costs $250,000, and the average salary is $20,000. You know?
Yeah, no, he never like ultra boosts on the bike or like has any guns on it or missiles or anything.
Right.
It's a bike. He bought that thing off of Craigslist and he rides it around town with his motorcycle helmet on. Like, yeah, like year 2 Batman. I love it. I like it so much.
Yeah. It's like, so when you can't associate Batman with extreme wealth, and then you see Bruce Wayne, who is, you know, he's driving his own car, but it is a really nice car, right? Like,
it is,
and he's still living in like a 30-story penthouse suite with really cool Gothic architecture everywhere, almost cluttering it.
And his suit probably costs like $5,000, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And he looks thin and frail, and I think the way Bruce Wayne moves is like anemic almost, whereas Batman moves in the slow, deliberate, bulking pace like a Darth Vader.
For sure. I mean, that's a comparison I heard, is that first scene where he's walking out of the darkness to confront those thugs, and it's just the thunk, thunk, thunk. It's totally Vader's breathing,
The
just in a different way.
the scene
Yeah.
that I really think of is when they're at the 44 below, and he's going to go fight the mob, stop Catwoman from killing the mobster, and he's in the elevator and he's walking out, and it's pitch black, and it's only
Yeah.
lit by gunfire. That is like to a T reminding me of Rogue One, Darth Vader trying to get the Death Star plans and just being like an unstoppable tank.
Very Vader. Yeah.
Really
Yeah. I love that too. And I love that he's not super gadget heavy. Like, he's got the wingsuit, which doesn't go super well for him and is hilarious.
And that should have killed him. Like, I watched that.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
the speed he was going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he jumps off a building, so he's at terminal velocity, and then he's wingsuiting down, and then he deploys the parachute that gets caught on the underside of a bridge, smashes into a truck. He's severely injured there.
Yeah, and I did think it was a little sleek, because I was thinking of that, and then he gets like a shotgun blast to the chest, which I'm like,
yeah,
that broke a few ribs. You're pretty fucked up. And then it's like, oh, in his moment, in the final moments of the movie, he's like carrying people as like emergency service rescuer, and I'm like, dude, you should be like unconscious with exhaustion and pain at this point, right? Like, I don't care what shock adrenaline you injected yourself with to wake up. Like, you should be out of it by now. So I thought that I was like,
100%.
Okay, all right, but
so I was gonna say, I just like the fighting style is he takes baseball bats to the back. He gets punched in the head. He gets shot 87 times in this movie. He's not the swooping ninja, dodging everything, taking people down Batman. He's street brawler Batman at this point.
He's somewhere in between. I feel like when he's not fighting more than 4 guys, he's very easily the ninja who can just take down everyone in very quick succession. Because like there's the times where he's like breaking in to cut the power to the place, and there's like one guy there. It's like 2 hits and everything's done. But when there's more than 3 or 4 people, it takes a little work because you've got to stop and take hits sometimes.
Right, but like Bale's Batman would swoop into that situation with 8 dudes, and it would be smack, 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 done. And like he wouldn't take any hits, right?
I haven't watched those movies in a while, and I want to disagree with you, but I also haven't seen those movies in a while. So, I did contemplate watching like the old Clooney Batmans and stuff, being like, just for some like perspective on how different it can be. And then I started watching Batman Forever, and I'm like, I can't. I just like, I like puns, but even like Arnold Schwarzenegger being like, cool off, you know, like chill, you know. All the
character assassination of Mr. Freeze in that movie is really bad.
Well, yeah. But
yeah, I don't know. Like the previous Batman films, the Keaton, the Clooney, the Kilmer of it, I just don't. They never took it seriously enough.
I think there was like that was very much also the style of the comics being made at the time. So in like context, those are the kinds of comics Batman was being written into. So making movies out of them also made sense at the time, but now just seem super campy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was on the way home, I was talking to my brother, and that's what Batman used to have comics that. Or at least had them much more commonly than they do now. He also had the thing where it's like Batman doesn't use any of his gadgets. He's like, my brother said, he only uses the grappling hook like 3 times, and that's not true. He uses it like 9 or 8.
Yeah, it's a bunch. He uses whatever he uses to run down the building that one time too, which I don't think is a grappling hook necessarily.
He used his grappling hook to hook onto the end of the building. Right after he used it to save the guy who got kicked off of it.
Right.
He uses it to go up in the police station when he's fleeing. He uses it to get into the Riddler's apartment faster than the police by like 12 seconds.
Right.
I feel like he could have just run that. He goes up an elevator shaft in the club. And I swear there's more. The first time he goes to the club, he gets shot from behind, and he uses it to grab some guy's leg and knock him over. Like, he uses it in combat. He uses it all the time. I feel like he doesn't have a lot of gadgets. Like, he has like a bat bomb or something that he blows up in the arena at the end. He blows up like a fire extinguisher to make a smoke bomb. But other than that, he just has one very solid, dependable gadget.
Right, which makes sense for year 2 of what he's trying to do.
Sure.
He's got
Yeah.
one thing that he trusts. He uses it all the time for everything,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It's kinda like a certain play style. If you're playing the video games, it's like, "This is a good thing. I will use this and nothing else."
I've upgraded one weapon. I'm going to use it always.
Always, for all situations. The grapple hook is not a bad choice if that's what you're gonna do.
It's true.
Yeah. So I just thought the movie was beautifully shot. It was
hmm
the same dude who did cinematography for Dune
Okay.
and for another big movie that came out in the last couple of years, and I can't remember what it is now. But it was Dune. It's the Dune guy. Anyway, he was really good. I liked. Okay, so it starts out with the Riddler watching the mayor's family through like the
hmm
binoculars, right?
Yeah.
So they do that scene, and then later they just take us to another scene where somebody's peeping and watching Catwoman as she
hmm
changes into her suit.
hmm
And it's really smart because you're like, is this the Riddler? Is he watching her? Does like he know who she is? And then you're like, and then they show you that it's Bruce, and you're like, oh, okay. It's just establishing these parallels of who they both are.
hmm
And it's
Well, it's
well,
interesting
and part
because
of you is like, Bruce, let's not watch the woman undress, please. Like, come on, be a gentleman about this, sir.
well, I mean, the part of that, sure, you can take that approach to it. On the other hand, it's like we know Bruce Wayne is not looking at that being like, damn, that's a fun piece of ass. I'm gonna hit that. You know, it's like he's a professional and he's here. He's got a job to do. Just because she's like when you take like doing reconnaissance on someone, just because they live in their private life, they're gonna live their private life, and you just have to kind of be a professional about it. And doing their job is part of that. But Marvel movies have always had like a pitfall, which is the bad guy is like the good guy, but bad, right? And
Yeah, I
this,
mean,
this like
it's a storytelling device. I don't
I
think Marvel came up with it. They're
no
not
no
the only
no
ones that
no no
do
no.
it.
I'm just saying, but they do it a lot because it's like Iron Man
Yeah,
fought the Ironmonger, Spider Man fights the Green Goblin or Venom, or you know, Doctor Strange fights other magicians. It's fine.
yeah,
It's
I
but
know.
but Batman does it in a way that's way better because the bad guy is essentially doing the same kind of thing. Like he has that little speech about it where it's like a little bit of concentrated violence and some ideas, and he's trying to affect change in the city.
Correct.
But they draw a lot of interesting parallels, like peeping on people through their window, and when they finally get to the Riddler's apartment, Batman's the only one who knows this, but he finds tons and tons of the Riddler's journals. And at the start of the movie, Batman was like, I forced myself to write down everything that happened. I've got
Yep.
tons and tons of journals.
Yeah,
Eh,
exactly. He
yeah.
understands it because he does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the scene when the Riddler allows himself to get captured and he's in Arkham and Batman
hmm
comes to see him.
hmm
And as it becomes clearer and clearer that the Riddler sees Batman as an ally and as
Mm.
someone he's trying to impress so they can do this together, they can root out the corruption in Gotham and save the city.
hmm
And then Batman, it dawns on him and he is immediately horrified.
Right.
And he is in no way interested in this idea whatsoever. He loses emotional control for quite possibly
Well,
the only time in the whole movie.
yeah, I think he loses emotional control two times. One is at Alfred's when he's wounded and he's talking about, I thought I had that locked down, and he admits that he doesn't.
Right, but that's
Well,
a
he
pretty
didn't.
it's emotional thing, but he's not going crazy emoting.
Right, right. I don't think he has anything to emote against in that scene, but I think it's the same violation of his control.
Yeah,
Um, and,
fair enough.
and I think the important thing to note, right before he realizes that the Riddler thinks he's an ally, is that the Riddler is talking about how Bruce Wayne survived, and Batman has like a look of, oh, there's cameras here.
Oh,
He knows who I am. Like he worked it out because he's talking about my real self, and he's
yeah.
like, oh, he thinks he knows I'm Bat. Like he knows I'm Bruce. Bruce is Batman, and then that fear subsides when he realizes he doesn't, or at least is going to pretend that he doesn't. I don't think he does. I think he was just he unintentionally gave the opinion that he might. And then he goes into that, yeah, you were helping me. Like, I asked you to bring him into the light, and you did. Like, we've been
Yes.
working together.
Oh, it's so good.
So to go
'Cause
from the fear to the realization, I think that you got like that plays an excellent switch into his behavior of like, I'm gonna punch this glass and try and like, what do you know?
yeah, and it's not just what do you know, it's an adamant refusal that we are the same.
Mhm.
We are not the same. You are sick and twisted and broken and wrong in every way that I am not. I'm dressed in a bat costume right now, right? Like, I think he fears it. He sees himself in this dude,
Mhm.
and he's like, "That could be me." The only real difference here is that he murders people and
Mhm.
incites violence,
Mhm.
and I won't do that, but that's really the only difference between us.
Mhm.
We're both trying to figure out what's going on here. We're both interested in rooting out the corruption in the city. This
Mhm.
is a small difference between us, and it's enough to make him someone that I am disgusted by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so, so, so good. It's
Mhm.
great.
Mhm. Mhm. It's really good.
Yeah.
Thoroughly approve.
Uh-huh. I don't know why they bother getting Colin Farrell to play the Penguin if they were gonna make him utterly unrecognizable. Like,
Was that Colin Farrell?
that's Colin Farrell! Right? I tried. I tried looking at him as Colin Farrell. The eyes aren't the same. There's nothing about like the face structure that's the same. That is tons of makeup or something. Yeah. It's Colin Farrell playing the Penguin.
Wow. I mean, the Penguin's like he feels like a kind of B villain in this, where he's like a
Mhm.
henchman, right? But I mean, it's a good role for him, and it's a like I thought he was acted quite well, right, for
Yes.
what he needs to do. I didn't realize that was Colin Farrell.
Yeah, solid side by side there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Apparently he's getting a spin-off on HBO Max, Penguin
Oh,
is.
okay.
So,
Cool.
I
Yeah,
don't know, see how that works.
I'll allow it.
Uh-huh. Anyway, I thought they did Catwoman really well. I thought Zoe Kravitz killed it. She was awesome.
Yep.
I think it's
Yep.
important for Catwoman to be her own person with her own goals that sometimes align with Batman's, but sometimes do not
Mm-hmm.
align with Batman. She doesn't exist to help him,
Right.
right? She exists to do her own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and Batman is incredibly into that. And sometimes they're completely at odds, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they're aligned, and that's their relationship. It always has been.
I will say I didn't like that they gave her claws. Uh, like
Uh-huh.
I get that you're trying to be like she's a Catwoman, like, but I noticed that like right at the end when like she's like leaving and saying her goodbyes to Batman, that she puts on gloves to ride her motorbike, and the tips of them are cut off to allow her claws to come out, right? Like because you can't have fingernails in gloves that are like 2 inches long, right? Like that just
Right.
that would suck to wear, but it looks like it's a minor detail, but it looks stupid. I just imagine that someone who's a professional like lock pick and safe breaker and needs to like get into places, having nails that long is not a convenient thing. All right, that just
No.
gets in the way. Um,
100%.
Also, she had 3 cats in her apartment, and when she drove off, she only had 2 cat side carriers on her bike. Where's the third cat?
And I noticed that. I think she might have left it behind.
Hopefully, she just gave it to
Selena.
Batman. Just gave it to
Selena, come on. Ooh, yeah. To
Batman's
remember
got
her by,
a
that'd be
little
so
cat.
romantic.
That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
You could handle a cat. Cats are low maintenance.
Alfred can handle a cat.
Alfred can handle a cat. Bruce can pet it sometimes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It might be good for him, honestly.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. And yeah, and I just really enjoyed too the arc of Batman throughout the film where he starts out as vengeance. He identifies himself as vengeance. He's here to avenge the people of the city and take out the evil and deal
Mm-hmm.
with it that way. And then he realizes, obviously, I mean, 2 years into it, things are getting worse. He sees that.
Mm-hmm.
But then through the course of the film, just recognizing I need to be more than just something that everybody fears.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be a symbol of hope for the good people of Gotham who are
Mm-hmm.
trying to rebuild it. And I need to be more in the light. I can't just be this monster
Right, because even like at the start of the movie, the first guy he saves is like, "Please don't hurt me." Right, like
Yeah, and
how do
right, and at the end, when he, offers to help the mayor out from behind that collapsed wreckage, she's like, "Nope, I'll wait for someone else to come along, thanks." Right? So even yeah,
right,
she's, like, not interested, you crazy, insane vigilante person in a bat suit, which entirely fair,
yeah,
but yeah, by the end of the film, he's just working alongside everybody else. He's carrying victims to, to the
what?
helicopter people and
Right,
carrying a torch, and he's in the light. He's decided to be more of an open ally of the city and something that people can look up to
hmm
as someone who's trying to help.
yeah,
And I thought that was really good.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. Good movie.
So yeah, great. I really, really enjoyed it. I
Mhm.
mean, 3 hours plus is a rough go
It was a
for
little,
bladder
yeah,
purposes.
yeah. I'm of the opinion that I don't understand how people need to go to the bathroom after a 3 hour movie.
Oh.
Um, like every time my mother go see a movie, he always goes to the bathroom afterwards. I'm like, why? Couldn't you have gone before? Like,
Have you seen the numerous other people who go after the 3-hour movie? Is
there's
it
a
just the
there's a lot of people, but I don't.
okay.
I just
So
don't understand it.
you have a superpower. It's cool. Everyone's got their own superpower.
I have bladder gigantis, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're just genetically blessed with a humongous bladder.
I can verify this. When I broke my leg in high school and they took me to hospital, they were like, "Yeah, obviously you can't get up and walk around. When was the last time you went to the bathroom?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think it was like during recess or something at lunch." And because I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom, I think I literally held it for 2 days
Oh
until
my
I was
god.
until I was just like, "I need to go." It's like this.
People die from that, right? You're aware there are historical accounts of people who have died from their bladders exploding.
No.
Okay, great.
um.
Just a
Well,
thought.
I mean, eventually I was like, "All right, I need to go," and I had to pee into like a bottle, and it was like a 2 liter water jug that they gave me, and I filled it. Like it was, and obviously
Okay, if you
I can't get up to take this away, so I had to be like, "Oh no, can you come here?" And she looked at it frightened.
All right. So if your bladder is 2 liters worth of space, that's
Mm,
insane. That's incredible. Superpower indeed.
it might be, yeah, yeah.
Very well could be.
hmm
Shoot.
hmm
Hmm. All right. So anyway, we recommend The Batman is really good.
Yep, I recommend it.
I don't I don't know that it's like a popcorn movie. Like I'm not sure
Mm.
that you go here to have fun necessarily.
No, well, because we went to gold class. Also, gold class, less seats, bigger seats, and food delivered to you in the middle of the movie. Like you order before you
Awesome.
go in. So
Yeah.
we didn't get popcorn. I got like little sliders, is what they're called, like little beef burgers that are like 2 bites and you're done. And it comes with like chips and a drink. It was really nice, but definitely didn't have any popcorn. But this like fancy, luxurious experience was $6 more than a regular ticket, right? Like for the
Hmm.
two of us, so it's $3 each, right? Like a
That's
regular ticket is so stupidly expensive compared to like a gold class. I think I'm just gonna go there every time I see a movie now.
absolutely. That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So anywho, not I mean it's not a super fun hang,
no,
but it's just good. It's
it's
relentless. It's good.
mm,
Michael Giacchino's score is amazing and it
mm,
drills itself into you as you're experiencing the film. Just like go to get immersed. Like don't go necessarily to have fun, but you definitely should see it.
yep.
Yeah.
Um, I do wonder if they're gonna do more Batman like this.
Yeah.
Like, is Robert Pattinson gonna continue the role? Um,
Is Matt Reeves going to keep directing? Right.
yeah, yeah. Like, what villains are they gonna do? And the choice of villains is really an important choice because I feel like the pseudo stupid sciencey magic bullshit that tons of other villains have just doesn't work in his world.
Right.
Um, I would hate to see someone running around with a freeze gun that can like turn people into ice blocks, you know.
Sure, but right, you don't want to do that exactly.
No, 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 of
But I
course
mean,
not.
if you look at the Riddler from, is it Batman Forever that Riddler's in?
I think
It's
so.
whatever. It's one of those
Maybe.
90s ones.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, we can't have the Riddler in a serious
Well,
Batman movie. It doesn't work. Well, yeah, if you change it a lot, it will.
right. Obviously, the Riddler worked here, but like, I would not want to. I don't think the Riddler could exist in this world where he has a magical hat that sucks out everyone's knowledge and puts it into his own brain, right?
Right.
Like through the TV, you know. Uh,
Right.
I don't think that you can get away with that in this world, at least not easily. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
would.
no,
I
100%.
I don't want to see that ever. Like, I would love this to be a Batman that's in isolation from the rest of most of DC. Like, if this Batman shows up and it turns out he's also across the water from Superman, and they're both their mothers' names are Martha, um, I'm not gonna be interested.
Right. I actually forgot this. They mentioned before the film was released, this is alternate universe Batman.
Okay.
This isn't DCEU chronology. This is out there. There's an alternate reality where this is this Batman having these adventures. We're not going to cross them.
Good.
Yeah, I feel good about that. I don't want a Joker. Like the little Joker 5 minutes in the film, I didn't like it. Didn't feel like it needed to be there.
I think it did. Maybe it just depends. So the first gang that he fights in the subway all have like it's Halloween, the night's Halloween, but they all have like Joker smiles.
They do.
And,
Yeah.
and so I thought it was a payoff to that, where it's like, oh, they're showing that the Joker is still have a gang, and he is the leader, and like he gets a few word ins. But what he's saying is Gotham likes a comeback story, and I'm your friend. I can imagine that's easily like teaser bait for another movie, which is also still the Riddler focused, but the Joker is kind of in it in the same way the Penguin is in this one, where he's not the focus, but we just need to show you that he's there and that the gangs with the creepy smiles, what a random coincidence, you know, and
Yeah, that's fair.
and teaser bait, like. But
It
that's
is.
just how I see it. They could totally go with no. This is just we're just gonna do a Joker movie now. Yeah, like Batman be the
Yeah.
Joker.
What do you
Yeah.
mean that may be the Joker? That's absolutely the Joker.
No. That maybe they're going to do the Joker movie next.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I'd be really upset. Batman has such a incredible rogues gallery of potential villains that would totally work. We don't need.
Who would you
I
pick
don't think
next?
we need another Joker.
Who are you gonna do next?
Two-Face could be interesting.
Sure. I mean, what's he do? Like, he's got half a face missing, and he robs banks sometimes, or he goes around killing people.
Yeah, I mean, crime boss type stuff, which I guess we already have with the Falcon
Yeah.
type things.
Yeah. Also, okay, so I get confused constantly. There's Falcone, who's the guy with the
Yeah,
mustache and the glasses.
it's Falcone. I think they
Falcone.
call him Falcone in the movie, but comics character, it's Falcone.
Okay. And then they're always talking about how there was like a drugs bust that made record, and that's the Malconey or something, and the
Maroni.
Maroni. Yeah. God,
Yeah.
I get them
Confusing.
so confused. It's like just change one of the names. For the love of God.
Yeah, because they're both mob bosses and their names are incredibly similar. I
And then
agree. I had a problem with that too.
and it's like, okay, so Falcone was the informant, the rat in the Maroni takedown. It's like, okay, did he rat on himself? I keep getting like it happens in every Batman movie. Every single time. I hate it.
Yeah. It's fair.
Ugh.
So I don't know. I just don't want a Joker. Part of it is it's so hard to do anything and not be compared to Heath Ledger's Joker, which is universally considered the best.
You know me, I'm not a huge fan of Batman, and so when I say I like Dark Knight Rises. Is it Dark Knight Rises? That movie. Heath Ledger's
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. I think it's fine. I don't think it's particularly mind-blowingly incredible. And so when I see another Joker, I'm not immediately trying to compare it to that, because you can do it so differently. Like, I would not compare this Riddler to Jim Carrey's
Riddler, right?
Because
right.
they're just so different.
100%.
And I think you can do them differently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joker,
we're done?
Ra's al Ghul, the Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and Mr. Freeze are current arch villains according to the DC fandom wiki.
Yeah.
So, did you Falcon? Falcon left. Oh, are you back?
All right, I'm back. I don't know. That was weird. I couldn't hear you, and then
you were like, "Are we done?" Leave.
All right, cool. So we're good to go?
Yep. We're good
Excellent.
to go.
So that is going to be it from us today. This has been Falcon Paladin and Somicron with another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour, streamed live at twitch.tv/Somicron. You can support the podcast directly at patreon.com/Somicron. Also, feel free to get some merch at falconpaladin.store. And until next time, as always, thanks for hanging out with us. And until next time, take care of yourselves.
Bye.